What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay, sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSNBC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
We've had MSNBC anchors suggest without evidence that Trump would take their show off air, say over and over again he represents an existential threat to American democracy, also say that he's literally Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one very angry and unhinged MSNBC analyst, said just recently.
Okay, so from that preview, I'm sure you understand what this video is going to be about. And it's going to be about the liberal media, well, in this case, MSNBC, stoking up tensions and fear-mongering less than 48 hours. This was 2 days after. So the RNC rally was on the 15th. He got shot on the 13th. You know, just 2 days after, give or take a few hours. And the reporter just couldn't wait to be there with his microphone in Donald Trump Jr.'s face saying, how do you feel about your father separating families for his second term like he did in his first administration? How do you feel that your dad is a divisive figure? You know, he couldn't wait. You know, this is dangerous time. The media is honestly crazy. I didn't even know their tactics were this dirty. But these are the dirty political, tactical strategies that they push. And they will do anything to paint this man now into being a bad guy. Every attempt they've had so far has failed. And they're just going to keep going up until November. They're going to slap him with anything they can possibly slap him with to just discredit him and try and take him out. But it seems as though the more they keep trying to discredit him, the more people are just riding with him and saying, you know what, we're going to vote for this guy because this guy seems to be the truth. And there must be a lot of truth in what he is saying and what he is preaching and his policies that the establishment don't like, and they want me to be angry and go against the Donald Trump. And let's be honest, man, in our lifetime, in my lifetime, I was born in the 90s, you know, he stoked up no wars. You know, there was no war under Donald Trump. Say what you want about what he says, but there was no war. You understand? He, from how it seemed, I'm not living in America. I can't speak for the Americans. They can speak for themselves. But from how it seemed, you know, he seemed that he put the American people first, not about shipping 100, 200 billion to Ukraine. No. He wasn't doing all of that or stoking up tensions between China and Taiwan. Yeah, he said some things, you know, that was not helpful in, you know, that situation in regards to China. Yeah, he said some things that, you know, were not helpful, but he didn't stoke up problems there whereby, you know, warfare could, you know, prevail from that area. And yeah, for whatever reason, the establishment just never forgave him, and they do not want to see him in power, you know, for a second term. They do not want to see that. You know, they want to see him out, and they want to take him out by all means. So yeah, but anyway, guys, what we're going to do today, let's just watch the videos we watched in the beginning. Let's just examine them now. So Donald Trump Jr. talking, you know, to the MSNBC reporter that's trying to stoke up tensions. And then we'll watch a response video from a guy called Palumbo or something like that from Sky News Australia. He examines the situation very sharply. And he even brings in what Joy Reid said, where she was comparing Donald Trump to Hitler. So yeah, let's get straight to it.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way possible. if the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSNBC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
And Brad, we've seen a lot of inflammatory rhetoric lately by the Democrats. And have a look at this tweet from Biden Harris HQ. It says 4th of July under Trump's Project 2025. I mean, this looks like a religious gathering from The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, this sort of rhetoric is so unhelpful. If you're a loon with a vengeance, you'd be inspired by this sort of propaganda, Brad.
Yeah, look, Biden has come out since the assassination attempt on Donald Trump and condemned it, of course. And I guess he deserves some credit for meeting that bare moral minimum. But, I mean, how many times do lefties and the Biden administration and liberal media outlets have to suggest with their absurd hyperbole and alarmism that Trump's America would be literally the Handmaid's Tale, basically saying that women would be forced into sex slavery. That's what that is a reference to. And how many times do they have to say that Trump would be a dictator by distorting one joke he made out of context? Or how many, I mean, we've had MSNBC anchors suggest without evidence that Trump would take their show off air, say over and over again he represents an existential threat to American democracy, also say that he's literally Hitler. That's what Joy Reid, one very angry and unhinged MSNBC analyst, said just recently. How many times do they have to say this kind of alarmist, doomsday, fear-mongering nonsense before one crazy person listens and takes their words seriously and acts accordingly? And that's what I suspect happened Saturday night. Obviously, we don't have final confirmation of the shooter's motivation, but even if not, it's only a matter of time. You can't continue to engage in this kind of the sky is falling, fear-mongering, doomsday rhetoric and expect there to never be any consequences or anybody who actually takes what you're saying at face value. Ultimately, I do, of course, believe that only the shooter is responsible at the end of the day for their actions, but we desperately need leaders in both parties to step up and model civility and take the temperature down in American political discourse, because our culture war and our political conflict is just raging ever more out of control, and it's really disturbing.
Short and sharp evaluation of this whole situation. I like the point that he brought up at the end, where he said that both sides need to come together to lower the temperature of what's really going on, because things are just heating up so much so, and things are just looking dangerous now. You know, it's politics, you know, like talk about policies, you know, argue your point. There should be a diplomatic way to talk about these things. It doesn't need to resort to what it's gone to, you know. It doesn't need to get to this stage, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the right have been perfect all the time. Yes, there's things that they could have done. You know, the Republicans could have done better. The Republican Party, the nominee, Donald Trump, of course, 100%. But I believe on the left, I'm seeing, you know, way more divisive talking points, you know, identity politics, you know, tensions being stoked up more, you know, and they can't even give him 72 hours. They couldn't do it. They had to be there at the RNC to just put the mic in and just get something going, just to get the blood boiling, you know. So I'm seeing a lot more destructiveness coming from the left and the liberal media, if I'm being 100% honest. And, you know, I think it's just a time for both parties to just come together, to just come together. And yeah, like you said, just lower the temperature, because no one wants to see, you know, the world or America, you know, go at it because of some political unrest. So yeah, that's just what I think. But anyway, guys, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next video. Peace. Also, comment what you think down below. Definitely let me know, and I'll be reading more comments. So yeah, peace.